guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So last week we made these lovely little spools for our lace and ribbon, and I also made these they're sort of like little, I made them out of some plastic mats, which are really, really nice, and I wrapped some ribbon and lace around them and they were hanging up. So this is to put your sort of like odd bits of lace on, and I wanted to make a little sort of like hook stand to put them on. So I have been thinking all week how I am going to do this. So I thought we would do it, and then we've got a little bit of lace and stuff that we can decorate. So I've got a box. Now I saw ages ago it was for a baby shower, and they got like a big box. Obviously it was done on a bigger version, but they got like a box. They got pieces of down, put them in there like that. I'm hoping you can do it, and then putting a little piece across the top and making a little hanging thing and putting bits and pieces like nappies and stuff inside. And I thought, oh, I could do sort of like a smaller version of that. So this is my sort of idea. This I had already. I had bought this a little while ago. I was going to use it for something else, but I thought it would be absolutely perfect, because once you've got little bits hanging up, you can put all your other little bits inside, little bits of lace in there. And I wanted this idea so that when you're doing a project, you can wrap some lace around and have it like a little mood hanger, if you know what I mean. So when you're doing a journal, you could take from your bigger rolls of lace like this, put little samplers on there and hang it up so you know what lace you're going to be using, and you could put your little bits in here. So that was my idea. So I thought that would be really nice, and I got some little bits there to sort of decorate it afterwards. I'm going to paint it, and I got some chalk paint, but it took me a little while to work out how to actually do this, which wasn't too complicated. Now I've taken 2 pieces of square sort of dowel. They are, I think they're about 12 inches long. Now there's my ruler. There we go. Yeah, so they are just under 12 inches, which is about 30 centimeters. And they're square. I did have these dowels, but they were too, I wanted to make sure that they would glue to it. So then I got the square ones, which I think I'm going to glue gun those to there. And then I've got a sort of idea of how I want to put these on, whether it will work. Now the thing that I was going to do, shall I glue them first and paint the whole thing, or paint these separately and glue them? I think I might just glue these on. And then my idea of putting these together, I've just drilled 2 little holes into here, each one of these, and again on this one, so I'm hoping they're in the sort of right place. And then I'm just going to pop, I think, like a little bit of wire through there. Now you can tie bits of string and stuff around them and hold them on, but I think I'm going to glue them and pop a little bit of wire through, and then we are going to make some hooks. Now I did have these hooks that I found, but this dowel didn't quite fit, so these didn't quite fit in there, which was a shame, because they would have been absolutely perfect. And they just came in a little pack like this from the little DIY store, and they were 95 cents, so they would have been perfect, but they're just tiny bit too small, and I didn't have it any smaller. Too small. These I didn't have any smaller down on there, so I am making my own little hooks out of paper clips, which are, oopsie daisy, which are here, and I'll show you how to make those while this is drying. So guys, this is what I do, and then we can sort of shabby it up. Just shabby it up a little bit. So this has got like little cornery bits, so I'm just going to glue gun this into there. So I'm hoping you can see this okay. So it's about there. So I'm just going to do it on one side. This is the right side. Just nice big blob of glue gun. I'm going to put a blob on the bottom as well, like that. Stick that in there so it's lined up. Squeeze that in. just rub that off. So hopefully that will stay together. A little bit of glue gun poking out will be fine. I'm going to do the same with this side, just there. I was just thinking about doing it on the outside so we could have a bigger sort of little hangy, but I think it will just get in the way. So let's just glue gun down here, a little bit on the bottom, pop that in there like that, stick that down. Now if you didn't have like a little wooden box, use an old cardboard box, that would be fine, and you could cover it like we did. We covered up some little boxes, didn't we, before, with some pretty papers. You could do that. So that's pretty good because glue gun is pretty strong. So this is fab. So I think that will look really nice. Now I'm gonna keep those like that. Now I'm gonna make sure I've got these. I can just, they're a little bit flexible like that. So I could just squeeze them in if they're not quite right. So like that, can you see? So this little one, it was a bigger one, and I just sort of, I cut it down like that. So this has ended up being 9 inches or 23 centimeters, and my little box, which I didn't measure, is 7 1/4. What's that? Just over 18 centimeters by 12 centimeters, or 4 3/4 inches, and the height is, what's that, 3 1/2 inches, or about 9 centimeters. So that's quite good, isn't it? It's a really good sort of size, because you can hang things up and then you've still got stuff to put all your little bits and pieces in. Right, I am going to, I don't think I'm going to paint. Shall I paint this? Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'm going to move all these bits to the back so I don't get paint everywhere. That's why I've got this down. I've got some gloves because I don't want to get too covered in paint, because I do make a mess. Look, I've got glue all over my fingers already. So guys, have you had a good week? Have you made any of those little spools that we made last week? I know I did them before, and I know lots of you said that you had made some before and you need to make some more, because we always get a little bit more lace, don't we? A little bit of extra lace is always good. Let's put those little dowels over there. Now I've got my little chalk paint, a little bit of chalk paint. Let's just open this up. I did open it, there we go. Now I'm going to paint with some sponges today. I'm just going to tip a little bit of paint out like that, because I think it's a little bit easier, isn't it? So let's just pop some paint on this all around it. Now you can darken this first if you wanted to. If you wanted to put some brown paint on underneath, but I just wanted to just add a little bit of this just to lighten it up just a little bit. I'll probably go around with a little bit of darker paint afterwards, but just cover it with a little bit of paint. I was actually thinking of making it a little bit pink. I had a little bit of pink paint, so I'm not sure whether to add a little bit of pink in a minute and go round it. I might do, but it's so much easier to put things on with a little bit of sponge, isn't it? Like that. Let's just go round again, because it's sort of shabby. You don't want it to be, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the whole point, isn't it? Okay. Lovely. Let's do around here a little bit. Sponges make it so much easier, so much easier than a brush. And then we would just go down through here. Not sure which is the easiest way to show you. Let's do this bit. So yes guys, have you had a busy week? I hope so. I hope you've had a lovely week. We did the lovely Friday freebie. We went out yesterday, didn't it? And also the newsletter. Newsletter went out yesterday as well. So that's an update of what we've been up to for the last 3 months, which is not very exciting because we haven't really done a huge amount. But we still got a sale on. It was the 4th of July yesterday, so we have our 4th of July sale going on at the moment. So do pop along and have a look, see if there's anything there that you would like to have to make journals with, or embellishments. There we go. I was having a little rummage through all my drawers. I was trying to actually have a sort out of stuff. And I found some lovely, I don't know where they come from, but they are very bright, shiny orange. Sounds absolutely awful, doesn't it? Cushion covers. Now, I must have bought those for a reason, and they will make fabulous embellishments or a cover for a boho journal. I know it sounds awful, sort of shiny orange, but they are fabulous. So I'm trying to, I haven't made a kit yet, but I'm looking for stuff to inspire me to make a sort of, I want to make like a summer boho kit. Whether I'll do that or whether I'll make it quite sort of gypsy-fied, I'm not quite sure yet. Let's just add a little bit to the bottom. Not that you can really see it because it's sort of the same sort of colour as the wood, isn't it? Now, there we go. That's lovely. Now, guys, I've got this pink. What do you reckon? What do you think? Do you think I just wanted a mini, tiny bit? Tiny bit. Just let's just see, is that a little bit too small? Can you see it? Just gives it a little pink tint to it. Like that. Just a little bit. And then I'll go over with a little bit of brown, I think. Let's put a little bit more on there. Mix that up. Oops. A bit more. Just a little bit. Yeah, so these orange, I think they're little not pillowcases, they're cushion covers. But they're sort of a bit shiny. But they are really quite nice. So there we go. A little bit of pink. Pretty pink. Don't normally paint things pink. Let's just put that down there. I think I'll leave the inside the sort of a creamy colour. Let's just... I'm going to... Oh no, I wasn't. I was going to paint it, wasn't I? Paint the dowel that goes across. There we go. So that's what it looks like. It's got like a hint of pink. It's not majorly pink, but it's quite pretty, isn't it? So are these... See, glue gun is really good. It really sticks them well. I'll just do that a little bit. Up through there. Perfect. Perfect. Shall I do the bottom? Let's just paint a little bit along these bottom bit there. Perfect. And because it's sort of chalk paint, it doesn't take very long to dry. I could do with a little bit of brown on there. I'm going to just put some paint on our little dowel to go along the top. There we go. Once I've painted, I can take all this away because we don't need that then. But I make such a mess sometimes that we need these little bits. A little bit of tiny hint of pink on there. very, very pale, so I'm not sure whether you can actually see that. There we go. Lovely. Right, I'm just going to quickly, I don't have any brown paint, so just going to be 2 seconds. Well, can you believe it? I don't have any brown paint, but never mind. What I will do, I might leave this to dry and then add a little bit of ink to the edges. So we shall see. So leave that over to the side like this to dry. I'm going to put this away. I'm going to put this back in the tin, tidy up this bit, and then I will be back to show you how to make the hook. So 2 seconds. Okay, so I have some pliers and I am going to make the hooks. Now I'm going to be using some paper clips. I've already made some, so I don't have to make them all. And shall I just come in a little bit? There we go, so you can see. So they're sort of like that. They're sort of a hook, but I've made a little hook, a little loop in there, so that they go on. So when they hang over your little piece of dowel, when this hooks on, it's hanging this way, if you know what I mean, instead of that way. So we want to hang them in a little row. So this little bit here, I'm hoping we'll just slide in there. Let's see, that opens up, that little hook, the little hole goes through there, and that just tightens up, because I don't want this, I want to take the hook off this each time. I think it'll be easier to take the whole thing off, and the hook is still attached to that. So that's how they're going to sort of hang. Okay, that is my idea anyway. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a big paper clip. Now this is quite a thick one, so you want to try and get your biggest and your sort of thickest one. So this is like 2 inches, or what's that, 5 centimeters. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the end, pull this little end piece out, and I'm going to make a little loop in there like that. So we've got a little loop like that in that first bit. Now you can get 2 hooks out of 1 paper clip, with a 2-inch paper clip. So I'm going to just open that bit out, and then I'm going to actually get the dowel in here, just so we know that that is going to hook over the dowel. And then I'm going to take this and just snip that there. Oops, hold on to them properly. Snip that like that, so it's sort of just in line with your little loopy bit. Oh, am I in the right place? Do apologise. Sorry, I'm not paying attention. I forgot we were coming in. And then I'm just going to just flip that just a little bit like that. So that's the shape that we've got. And then to turn it, we want this little loop just to turn that way, like that. So when we hang it over, like I said, they're going to hook from this piece. Okay, this one just needs to turn just a little bit. So I'll do that again, so you can make 2 out of this. I'm going to take this again, I'm going to make a little loop like that in here, if I can, loop that round, and then just bring that down, so we've got that little loop like that. Open that one up, take our dowel and just pop that in there and just push that in, just that we know that that's going to fit. And then we'll just cut it off level with that little loop that we did. Okay, and then I just bend that up a little bit like that. Take that little loop and bend it round so we are facing the other way, like that. Perfect, is that right? Yeah, that's right. Gosh, I thought I had it wrong. Right, so I'm going to open these up and just thread that through think I might have to cut that little bit off. Where's my scissors? I've made that into a little point, so we don't really want that point now. I've got the little hooks. Just hook that on, and that will fit in there, I'm hoping. There we go. That hooks up, and then we can just bend that in like that. Lovely, and that will hook over. So let's put those in there like that. That's your leftover bit. You could probably make another one out of that actually. Let's put those over there, because what I would like to do now is figure out, okay, let's stay this close again, figure out how I'm going to attach that to there. What I was thinking, I will probably glue that on, but what I was thinking, I've got some quite thick wire here, so I'm just going to take a couple of pieces like that, and I wanted to, this will fit through like that. What I've got some little pearls. Now again, like I said, you can just glue that on or wrap a little bit of string around it, glue it and then wrap some string around it so it's nice and strong. But I've got like a little pearl. I was going to think is make like a little stop either side. So if I glued that on, popped that through, cut it off, and we have like a little pearl either side. What do you think? Do you think that would work? I popped a little bit of glue gun on there. Pop that up like that. Like that off. Oops, glue everywhere. And then put that through. I could pop a little bit of glue gun on this bit there. Pull that in. Get rid of that little bit of glue gun on there, but that's okay. Can you see? Like that. And then, oops, get the glue out of the way. Pop that through there, like that. Turn it around this way. Put another little pearl on the top of here. Where's the little hole? Can you see? And then cut that off. And that would make like a pretty little sort of stopper thing, wouldn't it? So if I put some glue on there, put my little pearl on. Do you think that would make a good stopper? What do you think? So it would still move. And then just cut that off. There we go. And that's what it would look like. Oh, that's not bad, is it? Oh, I quite like that. All right, let me just leave that. Let's get a little bit of glue on here and put this on. Like that. Take our little pearl. That on like that. Get the glue out of the way. Okay, I hope you can see this. I don't want to be too close, I don't want to be too far away. Right, I'm going to add a bit of glue on here like that. Oops, oops, we don't want all those little nasty bits on there. Push that up, squeeze that on. I'm not worried too much at the moment with the little bits of glue gun on there. Just pull those off. Okay. And then that goes through there like that. Can you see? I'm going to just take another little pearl, put a little bit of glue on there. Shall we hold that on? Just hold that tight like that. Ooh, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Right, there's a million ways that you could probably attach that. I just wanted something quite pretty. Can you see it? Actually, that's quite a good view, isn't it? So that's the top. Let's get rid of these little bits of glue gun that I've got on there. That's not bad, guys, is it? Can you see this one as well? There we go. Love it. Right, I'm going to come out again now. There we go. So that's our little hanger. Oh, fabulous. Fabulous. And then let's just hang one of these up to make sure this is going to work. There we go. So that hangs down like that. So it's a little hangy. And then you've got this little pot to put all your little bits and pieces in. Super. Right. Let's do these pearls up. So again, I've just used pearls because I think that looks quite pretty for a sort of little shabby idea. Now what I wanted to do is just decorate this a little bit. It's a little bit rough. I probably should have sanded it down actually. Now, I'm thinking of white because I think that might look quite pretty, won't it? Is it the white or the pink? But I think I might go for the white. And what I'm going to do, I think I'll start from the back. Oh, I've got a little runaway pearl. Let's put you over there. Just a little bit of glue gun. Glue this to the back. Let's pop a little line down through there. Put that, oops. Put that down. Just like that. Then we can wrap this around. What I'll do is I just add just a little touch of glue on there just to hold that in place like that. Turn this round again on this little bit. Oops. A little bit on there. Now again, this can be made as shabby as you like, can't it? You can stick all sorts of bits and pieces on here. Let's just turn that back round. Where's my scissors? Oops. Oops, I was holding on to the wrong bit. That will... Just glue that to there, like that. Perfect. Look at that. How pretty is that? That's so pretty, isn't it? I suppose you could probably line this with a little bit of fabric actually. I should have thought about that actually before, because that might be a little bit rough. So you might be able to make a little sort of bag or something to go in there. Do you know what I mean? And just attach it to the outside so it's a little bit more fabric. Oh, I might have a think about that and do that at a later date. We'll see, because this, looking at this, it's a little bit rough. So putting lace and bits in there might sort of catch it, so we shall see. But that's very, very pretty. I don't want to add too much because this is going to be moving around on my desk and I don't want things to be sort of caught. Actually, I'm just going to lie that on there. Let's just put that on there so it's held up a little bit. So I've got a couple of bows. I have a couple of little, not bows, they're little flowers. Look at that, isn't that pretty? We do like, oh look at me, covered in these little bits. Now, maybe we could have another little bit of ribbon round here. What's this like? Could do with, do you know what I mean? There's all sorts of ways you can decorate that. That's not the right colour. We need a little bit of, hang on a second. I've got sort of like some, this is like organza ribbon. This is beautiful, this is lovely. That's quite pretty, isn't it? I do like that. I've actually got a little bow made up, a little bow. It's not a bow, it's a little flower. That's quite pretty. I quite like this. Shall I put it all the way round? How much have I got of this? Oh, I got lots. Might actually glue some of this on. Because I don't really want a bow on the front. I think I just want those little flowers. So I'm going to pop a little bit of glue on there. Stick that down. I don't want to pull this too tight because it's got that lovely little wrinkly bit in there. So let's just pop a little dob there. Little dob there. Oops. Glue, glue, glue. Let's pop that round. Like that. That's so pretty. Actually, I do like that. Let's pop a little bit of glue on there. Little dot there. Yeah, you can make this. You could just use a, like I said, a little cardboard box, little Amazon packaging that you could cover up. Would be good, wouldn't it? Just trim that off. I'm going to just turn this back so it makes it a little bit neater. Tiny little bit. Just fold that over so we don't have that raw edge on there. A little bit of glue. Just stick that down. That's nice and neat. How lovely is that? That's so pretty. Look at that, guys. My lighting, I'm not sure, my lighting's a bit funny. I think it's so bright outside, then it's sort of like affecting my lights. I'm not sure whether you can see that. It looks quite pale, but it's sort of a really lovely, lovely colour. Right, that's a little bit loose, but I'm going to stick that down because we're going to stick these lovely little flowers on. So what do you think? That's pretty, isn't it? I've got, this is like that lovely tulle that I coloured. What can we put in the middle? Sure. Oh my gosh, I've got so many strings. I had another little flower here somewhere. Let me just get something here. I've got some little things in here. Let's have a little peek. Let's put you over there. We could go with something like this. Or should we have something pretty in there? Actually, I'm quite liking that. That's rather nice, isn't it? Or that one. Oh, I quite like the pearly, because we've got pearls at the top, actually. That's quite nice to have a little pearly bit. What do you think? That looks quite nice, doesn't it? Right. Let's get rid of this blue. My gosh. Right, where's the middle? some glue on here. I'm going to glue this down underneath, just so that's stuck down. A little bit on there. Pop that on. Right, I'm going to have to just hold that like that a minute just to make sure I am sort of in the middle. I think that looks pretty good. Ouch, that's hot. Little one like that. Stick that on. Gosh, I don't know what's stuck on the end of here. Let me just wipe that off. There we go. A bit more. I've left my glue gun on. Glue gun on, so it's very, very hot. I'm going to put that, I've got a little bit of glue onto here, just while this is wet and sticky. I'm going to just hold that and push that down so it sticks down nicely. Is that going to hold down? It's a little bit pokey, isn't it? It's a little bit. Actually, I didn't stick this under lace bit. That's what we need to stick down. Okay, let's squeeze that down. That's a little bit better. All my little strings. Oh, look at that. Oh, I love it. Isn't that just lovely? Very, very simple, guys. Very simple. And again, oh, I don't know, I suppose you could probably use, even if you didn't want to put anything in it, you could attach things to a book. You know, when we did those books, shabbied up those books, you could put sort of like 2 dowels on the outside of a book and make that. So you have a little sort of like, instead of a little pot or a little thing, you could have like a little tray to put things on. That's just beautiful. I'm going to leave it like that. I wish I had thought about putting something inside. But never mind. I've also got some tulle, which is quite nice. That would have looked nice around it as well. But that's okay. That's okay, guys. So I think that's fabulous. Right. Let's get these and let's just hang these on here. That one's already attached. Oh my gosh, so you could fit quite a few on here. Let's get rid of these little bits. Some of these I haven't added any lace to yet, but I'm going to cut, like I said, I'm going to cut that little bit off because we don't want that on there. And we want them to sort of hang the right way as well. Let's open this up. One of you lovelies, I can't remember who it was, said about instead of making your own hooks, going, you know what you use for hanging Christmas decorations on the tree? You could use those as well. I put that on the wrong way, so that needs, do you know what I mean? But I couldn't find any of those because it's not Christmas, and I didn't fancy going rummaging through my garage either. Let's hang that the other way so they're all hanging the right way. But that's a great idea. That's a really, really good idea. There's another one here. This is the one where I had just like the little bits and pieces on. Let's open this up. Which way do they hang? This way. I need to cut that little bit like that. I love this. I think it's fabulous. Have I hung that on the wrong way? Oh, I have again. I have again. There we go. So it's got to go that way. So the back facing me. And that hangs on there like that. Oh my gosh, guys, this is lovely. Look at that. Can you imagine this with those dresses that we made? Oh, let me get one. I've got one just hanging here. Look at that. Oh, you could just hang your little dress up on there on the little hook. Oh my gosh, guys. So if you're into making those pretty little dresses, you could hang that on there as well. Actually, I might hang that on the end. How pretty is that? Oh, I didn't think about that. Let's take one of my hooks, hang that on there and hang that on the end. Oh, that's fab. Look at that. How beautiful. Right, let's make a hole in the rest of these. Like this. I'm going to, oh, I've got a hole in that one. I've already got a hole in that one, but I'm going to just trim that little pointy bit off, because we don't want that little pointy bit, do we? Then I just get my little punch. Okay, look, I really am. Right, it's nearly Prime Day. I'm going to get myself a new little punch. There we go. Or I could actually fix that one really, couldn't I? Let's put these on. Open that up. What did we want? We wanted it facing the back. Like that. Hang that on. Another one. I did make a couple here. Like that. And then I will find some little bits of lace. So when I do my next journal, that means that you can wrap your lace around here. You can go through all your laces and think, oh, what do I want for my next project? And it's sort of like a hanging mood board, if you know what I mean, for your lace. So you can just hang them up there and you know what you're going to use in your journal, and you can put the other little bits and pieces in there. Oh, this is not hanging on very well, is it? That's not working very well. I don't think I put enough glue on there. Let's pop a little bit of glue in there. Perfect. Not hanging off, do we? There we go. Hold that on. Stick that nice and tight. Okay, that's better. There we go. Right, I've got one more of these made. Let's just hang this on. And hang that over. Oh my gosh, I love it. I think that's so pretty. 2, 4, 6. Right, I've got 7 on there. So depending on how much lace, well, you can make it as big as you like. Doesn't really matter, does it? But how lovely is that? I'll take a picture of it sort of this way so you can see it at the end of the video. But I am absolutely loving it. So again, you can shabby it up a lot more than that if you wanted to, but I wish I had got something to go in here. Josh, I mean, oh, here's a little bit of scruffy fabric, but Josh, I mean, just to pop that in and line the bottom of it. I wonder if I could do that. Shall I quickly find something? That would look fabulous then, wouldn't it? Okay guys, give me 2 seconds. Okay guys, I think I have figured out how we can make a little inside bit. So what I have done, the first thing I did, because I need a base to go in here to cover. So what I did, I drew around the bottom of here to make a little square or a little rectangle on here. And then I added it like this and marked it off on each side, so it gives a sort of like the same sort of pattern as you get in there. And then, because this was just a piece of card, I put it on a bit of chipboard so it's a little bit thicker. I've put top on there because one side is a little bit wonkier than the other, so that fits in there. Not a perfect fit, but it fits, and it will do. So that's the bottom bit, and what I will do, I will cover that over in a minute. So the other bit I did, I took a strip. I have a strip of this beautiful shiny, which just works perfect, doesn't it? And I'm going to just, which is the flat side, just going to measure around this like that. So it's going to be, I'm going to just do a little bit more because we shall see if it's too big. It's okay, but we don't want it too small. And this will just go on the inside. So what I would like to do, I think we'll start at the front. So this is just a strip, a little bit longer than this here, and then just goes all the way around. And again, use whatever fabric you've got. I did the same sort of thing, I believe, on the little boxes. So I'm going to fold this over, just fold this top bit over like that, and I'm going to stick that down just with a little bit of glue gun, just so it goes, and then we can just bend it in. Again, it doesn't have to be fabulously perfect, because we are shabbiness, aren't we? So I'm just going to stick a little bit of glue along here like this. So this will show whether it's going to come out right or wrong, and then you can either copy me or do it probably a better way. So let's just stick that down, because we don't want the, oh look, that, see, that looks okay already, doesn't it? Let's go around to this side. Let's just tuck that in. Add a little bit of glue just around this little edge up to there. Let's just stick that down. Try and give us a nice little corner on there. Oops. Pop that in. Then I think we're just going to have to go around our little pole like that. Not too worried about that little bit. But again, if I'd actually thought this through properly, I would have probably put, but then again, I quite like them on the inside covered up, so that's okay. That will just pull down inside. Take this little bit and glue that around there. Like this. We want this to be not too much of a big project, because it's quite nice to get something finished, isn't it? And if you make too big of a project, it takes too long to do. Oh, stick down. There we go. Let's go around it this way. Just fold that edge in. We can just pull this down. I'll glue some of this down in a minute anyway. Let's just go here. Like that. Down through there. There we go. Do the same on this bit. Glue along here. Take that. This is such pretty fabric as well. Just so pretty, and it goes really, really well. So again, guys, if you're going to fill if you're going to put little fabric inside, you don't need to paint the inside, do we? We don't need to do that little bit. Let's just go around here. Add a little bit of glue to here. Stick that down. There we go. As tidy as we can be. Oops. Just take the end. I think I probably got a little bit too much in here. Let's hold that down. Yeah, I'm going to cut a little piece of this off because that's too much. We don't need that much. I'm going to just keep a little bit. Probably could have turned this over. I might actually just turn that over as well. Just pop a little bit of glue down like that, little blob. Turn that over so that's nice, a nice neat edge. Like that. turn that over and just pop that down like that. Lovely. There we go. A little bit along here. How far do we need to go about there? Stick that down. There we go. So I've just doubled that over and that's just gone around the outside like that. Well, not the outside, around the top. And then what we're going to do, if I stuck that piece down, I'm going to stick that piece down. And then this, just going to come in. And we can tuck this in like we did. This is the same sort of thing actually as our little boxes that we made. Just pop a little bit of glue in there. Pull that down. Just tuck that in. Might be able to put the piece of card in and it will just pull all this down actually. Oh. Just pop a little bit of glue down there. I might have to make that little card thing a little bit smaller. What do you think? Do you think this is going to pull all of that in? Just a minute, if I just push that down, that should work, shouldn't it? But I need to cover this now. Let's just tuck that in. Oh my gosh, glue gun bits. Is that... Look, that's not quite big enough. Let's take a little piece of this. Pop that on there. That fits lovely, doesn't it? Let's turn it over. Just move that over like that. Cut this around. Now we can just glue gun this. Do you know what that white bit is on there? That's my plastic off my stand. It's melted the side of my stand. That's my fault because I haven't put it on there properly. Just going to lie that down. How are we doing? Let's just stick that on there. Stick that down. There we go. Oops. Pull this in. Oh, I do like the glue gun as well. It makes life so much easier, doesn't it, to glue things like this down. Look at that. That's not bad, is it? That's pretty good. Let's just make sure that's in. Nice and tidy. Not quite tidy at the back, but we're not going to see that bit, are we? Let's just put these down. This little corner and hold that down. Okay. What do you think? That's pretty good, isn't it? Let's take all our little bits and pieces off. Now, which way? This way has got the little dips out of it, which are for these bits. Now, if I put that in, I'm not going to be able to get it out, am I? No. But we know that it's going to fit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just pop some glue in there, in the bottom, to hold that down. Right, so we want to try and push that in like that and push that down. Okay guys, it's not the best, but it's pretty good. I think that's pretty good, and I think that finishes it off. Can you see? Look at that. I think that is lovely. I think that finishes off. I probably could have done a little bit better job around this bit, but all in all, I think that's pretty good. I think that is lovely, and I'm actually liking the little ruffly bits in there. I think that looks beautiful. Okay, let's hang our little bits back on there. On and off. There we go. Now, when we put things inside, like this little roll of lace, it's not going to get all caught on the rough edges. The bits that I should have sanded probably, but never mind. We've covered them all up now. Now I will leave these blank because my next project I can just hang or wrap around what we are going to be using. But I am loving them. I got 2 spare there. Oh, I got another one here. Let's put this on. Gosh, I've got so much glue on me. Where's my little pliers? Okay, so open that up. Pop that on. I'll link the other video down where I just made these little bits and pieces, but I'm sure you will know how they are made. That can go on there, and then again as a little addition. Oh look, I've just knocked my flower off. Oh, was that the hook for, oh, I've just used the hook for I used for the end. Never mind, but that's what we would do. Let me just take this off. We can hang both of those on the end then, like that. So there we go. Oh, I love it. Do you love it? I love it. I think it's fabulous. Look at that, guys. I'll take a better picture of it so you can actually see from the side or from the front of it. But I think that's pretty good. And then we can put all our little bits of lace and stuff inside, and all the things that you want to use for, you know, your next project. All these little bits and pieces inside, or just keep little pretty bits in there, isn't it? So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I think this has come out absolutely gorgeous. I wasn't quite sure about these bits at the top to fix it, but don't they look lovely? I think they are just perfect. So it's just a piece of wire with 2 little beads to keep it together. Very simple indeed. So there we go, guys. Thank you for joining me. Please take care. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Stay safe, and I will see you soon. All right, guys. Bye-bye.